Good afternoon, friends. If you want to be convincing, if you want to persuade others to your way of thinking, if you want to get your way, then the first person you need to persuade is yourself. My friends, yesterday I spoke about persuading others. But I feel that unless you learn how to convince yourself, you cannot persuade others or somebody else. If you're not convinced, how can you convince others? If you're not convinced, what do you think the conviction behind your words will be ever? Two-word answer, not very. Have you ever seen someone on television delivering one of those information about a pill or an exercise machine? Have you ever picked up the phone and purchased? Sure, you have. You have and everyone has. The salesperson was convincing enough and persuasive enough to get their way. They were so convincing. They are so persuasive that they got you to take out your credit card and spend money. But before they were able to get one rupee out of you, they had to spend thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, getting ready the product and preparing their message. Why do you buy it? Well, one of the reasons is that you believed their message. You were convinced or persuaded, but whatever it was, they were selling would benefit you and you bought. My friends, today, as I said, I am talking on how to persuade yourself. Just think of it, whether it is finishing of your homework, calling an old friend, applying to a college, or pursuing a long-term dream, having deadline for some official project. You might find it hard to act. Procrastination tends to be based on emotions like fear and low esteem, encouraging avoidance and even reinforcing doubts about one's abilities and worth. To convince yourself to act and get past procrastination, you will need some strategy, some method. And it's the time to cultivate a belief in yourself, to harness your inner potential and to coax yourself into action. Few things I have already spoken repeatedly. I just summarize and keep on actually repeating myself. Like limit your negative thoughts. Firstly, negative thoughts turns to fixate on negative outcomes. You may be selling yourself short, underrating your skills, or innate talents to the point that you doom your efforts before even trying, creating a vicious and a self-fulfilling circle of failure. So limit your negative thoughts. Don't fear failure. We all fail. More than that, we fail all the time. In fact, most successful people fail. The most because they take the most risks and learn from prior failures. Achieving major goals in life involves unlearning our fear of failures. Banish the word quit from your vocabulary altogether. Nothing is impossible, I firmly believe. Along with accepting mistakes, adopt a never say die attitude towards your goals. Nothing in the world is worth having unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty. Remember that achievement is supposed to come hard, and you do not have a right to easy success. And put on a brave face when you struggle or fail. Don't compare ever yourself with others. There will always be someone in the world who is smarter than you, more accomplished than you, more successful and more popular than you. Judging yourself by these standards is hopeless and will only reduce your motivation and make you feel inadequate. Recognize that these feelings come from within you. You make the comparison and create the feeling of inadequacy. Don't fret about what others think of you. Just don't care, don't bother. Successful people Dare to take risk regardless of what other people think. You may be holding back for fear that you might not fit in, the peers may doubt you. That will look askance at you or to tell you that you will fail. That might be right. They may be right. But what if they're wrong? One way to manage thoughts like these is by creating a hierarchy. List of people whose opinions really mean the most to you. Your family, your parents, maybe your spouse. Then move down the list in descending order of importance. Your boss and your friend should matter somewhat lesser than family, and your colleagues less. By the time you get to casual acquaintances and strangers, you will see that their good opinion should really not matter to you much at all. Examine your motivations, my friends. Continuously review your motivation. Examine your motivations. What is that you want to do? Are you aiming to go to a new job, new degree? Do you have ambition to move on a big city or a patented invention? Examine your goals. Know that they are and how to achieve them. Try putting your thoughts on paper. What are your exact goals? Fix them. What do you want to? When do you want to meet them? How do you intend to meet them? Create a reasonable timetable as well. This will make your plans concrete and give you needed staying power. My friends, think big, and of course, also think realistically. If you set low expectations, you can usually get a lower return for your efforts. Big payoff concerned with bigger expectations, more ambitious dreams, and high risks. At the same time, keep your expectation within reasonable limits. Leave your comfort zone immediately. Inertia may be keeping you from great things. It is easy to get stuck in routine. A mental space when you feel comfortable, safe, or unstressed, but it can also stunt you. So risk and stresses are two things that can help us to grow while you give you the chance to do new and creative things and to reach new heights. Spend time every day, my friends, in self-development. How much time do you spend learning or improving your mind? Do you realize that this is a habit of successful people? Do you avoid becoming complacent in life? Set aside time each day to enrich yourself. Even if only a half an hour or 1 hour, consider it spiritual and mental food. Read good books. Listen to inspiring audio videos, tapes. Take an interest in ideas and be curious about the world. Remember, my friends, your past successes you have made. Your past successes rather than past failures. Use a journal to make mark and celebrate things that went your way. Write down your goals. Move your goal post continuously. Having a large and specified goal can motivate you more than a series of smaller goals. At the same time, your creative ambitions might sometimes seem far away or like an impossibly huge task. Don't let yourself to be overwhelmed at all. Break down into smaller goals, achievable goals. Consider the best case and a worst case scenario. My friend, stop and think. What is absolute best that can happen if you go through your plans? And what is the absolute worst if you are really committed to a goal? Remind yourself how much you potentially stand to gain by following through, or how much you potentially stand to lose by failing. Weigh the two. What can you expect from applying for jobs in your dream field or architecture or whatever? What is the worst that can happen? If it doesn't pan out, most times the worst case scenario boils down to fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of regret, while the upside promises very tangible benefits. My friend, ultimately I say, make a deal with yourself. Set performance standards and reward yourself. The deal can be small or large. Convince yourself, persuade yourself before you start persuading others, convincing others. Treat yourself to a short break once you have finished some work. This calls for the bigger reward. Take a weekend off to celebrate with your friends. Try out and use inducement that will motivate you to follow through. My friend, learn to convince yourself before start proceeding on convincing others. You will see success and nothing else. Thank you very much.